More shotguns.
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. It's called a tactical shotgun for good reason. You can do a lot with this thing and it never overcomplicates. Modelling work is beautiful with a very slick design that refines the previous installment. The shot has a great sonic thwack that never gets old and environment feedback sounds crisp and exciting. It's animated extremely well with believable moving components and realistic arm movements. The projectile is very well done and kicks up a storm during firefights. The impacts and reactions of enemies are world class, an absolute joy to play, feel and admire. You have a whole range of enemies, from low-life thugs, armoured exosuits and crazy augmented nanotech super soldiers. They all react differently to your fire and the shotgun has a perfect mix to dispatch them. Alt-fire modes include EMP rounds, burst fire and suppressor upgrades. Even more appealing is the fact you can approach the game multiple ways. You can set up your shotgun for stealth and go covert, or simply brute force your way, letting loose as many shots as you can carry. There's also a laser sight attachment which, remarkably in this nanotech future, is a huge bulky thing that sits on the side of the gun. No miniaturization there. But anyway, play with that and the HUD disabled for all-out immersion.
We'll burn in hell for the
Switching ammo types can be done either by pausing the gameplay with a Crisis-style customization view, or, as I prefer, holding down the reload key for a quick in-battle switch. That's how it should be done and makes firing the gun on all occasions feel under your full control. No clunky break of play. Sparks fly, armour shatters, blood sprays, and it all cascades together in a brutally satisfying firefight. You really feel like a well-orchestrated weapon of augmented mass destruction. This shotgun is without doubt a 10 out of 10 for the FPS genre, and replaying now in 4K 60 Ultra, it's even more of a beauty to behold. For the thinking man's shotgun, this is a high bar to beat. The Devastator feels like a cheap spin-off from the tactical shotgun, and I almost didn't include it in the series. It's a one-trick pony with a fatter looking model, less punchy shot sound, and very wide projectile spread with just the one ammo type. It's designed for you to smash through anything when the going gets tough, with its huge magazine, fast rate of fire, and widespread shot of armour-piercing rounds. It's fun in that respect, but outside of that, I'd never choose this over the tactical. Still, it's nice to have two shotguns, and this one does do things a bit different, so it's worth having, even if the ammo type could have just been supported by the tactical shotgun. I also noticed a bit of a glitch with the muzzle flash, which goes off a second time when only one shot is fired. Doesn't happen all the time, but it was often enough to distract me. Shadow Warrior 2. 9 shotguns in this game. Wow, we're in for a ride here. First really important item to mention is that almost all of the shotguns in this game have an incredibly large shot spread and weird coding that makes destructible objects next to you explode or catch fire, then explode, even when they are blatantly nowhere near the line of sight of your weapon's business end. Here's a couple of examples to see what I mean. Now, I know this is to increase the chance of all hell breaking loose as each level is beautifully crafted with all manner of destructible objects and walls, and it is thrilling, I love it. But when it comes to my shotguns, I don't feel like it sits right at all. It's a feeling of no matter where I aim, I'm gonna hit everything I see. That's not good. So, it pains me to do it, but almost all the shotguns in this game get marked down in the projectile department because it doesn't truly feel right.
Who goes the boomstick?
The Hauer is the go-to shotgun of the game, featuring a hilariously stylish reloading animation as well as nice alternate pump animations between shots. More games need to do this to mix things up. Give us some variation when firing guns. It's a very repetitive thing and a handful of different animations would be really nice to keep things fresh. Hell, make different animations for how damaged you are to express your situation, or how the protagonist is feeling. Oh, and let us choose how to hold the gun on screen too, for that matter.
As with the boom, you get the way.
Back to the Hauer, there is a tiny flaw in the animation as the forestock isn't actually parented to the left hand at any time, so it kinda floats above it. It's not something you'll notice while playing really, but it's there nonetheless, and something I see immediately in any game's animation, being a former games animator myself.
Making you dead makes me feel so alive.
This shotgun has a very pretty model that gleams beautifully in the sunlight. The size and positioning on screen is a bit too big, but not too distracting. There's a much worse example of that to come. It sounds very satisfying. I love firing and hearing the crack of stone and splattered demon flesh. Extremely satisfying audio feedback for your weapon fire in this game.
You're not the ugliest thing I've killed today.
While there are no alt-fire modes for any of these shotguns, you can apply 3 elemental gems to any shotgun that change its attributes and even its appearance on screen. Applying a high-level ice gem will change a gun barrel to become frozen, for example. Check a look. It's pretty neat. Other attributes are things like double shots, which can be stacked, so in fact you can fire all 6 rounds of your Hauer in one shot for a comedically obliterating effect. The Stick of Doom is a nice Doom 2 tribute weapon, and I got the same amount of joy from it as the Hauer, so I'm combining their scores here.
Looks like this isn't your week.
It's just as well refined in all departments. Because this one's held more in the centre, it actually feels quite good when you just blam everything in sight. Next up is the Puncher and Boner. They don't feel quite as well made, it's all a little less impressive in the model animation and sound. There's not a whole lot going on that's different for these two.
Looks like this isn't your decade.
The Boner is possibly one of the best names for a shotgun so far, however.
It's nothing like a fresh clip.
I love the look of this thing, and it's named in tribute to Hard Reset's protagonist. Very nicely modelled and animated compared to the last two. Still does the same thing though. I like the crunchy sound of the Shogun, and it's also animated well. However, the model itself, while pretty, is not posed well.
Well, good morning, Starshine. And good night.
Way too big and doesn't point right. I'm guessing this is a case of wanting to show off the model work in game to the detriment of how the gun feels. I'm not a fan of that. Keep the exhibitions to the menu screens, not during combat. Cerberus. Always nice to see a triple barrel shotgun, and this one was fun to use.
Oh, man, yeah!
Nicer animation with this, but the model itself didn't impress me as much as it could have.
Drop something. Oh, it's your blood.
The Hammershot was the first shotgun I picked up in the campaign. It's not the best, looks like it belongs in a car engine, but it sounds good and still has great impact like the others. It set the tone well for this quirky game. The Purgator was the one that came out on top. Its projectile shot spread is the most narrow on offer and feels so much better and less chaotic compared to the crazy wide spread of almost every other shotgun. After 36 hours of gameplay, this is the one I stuck with alongside my twin ice blades. Happy slashy memories. This shotgun acts more like what you expect, has more precision to it and feels under control. Sure, it's not going to mess up the scenery as much with wayward buckshot hitting everything in view, but you can hold 8 weapons in this game, so there's plenty of room for carrying 2 shotguns. It's also the most powerful shotgun at the base level. I added high level electrocute status to the weapon to suit the ammo type to paralyze enemies. It's great fun. It also looks excellent, a very slick and unique model design with a shot sound effect that's punchy with a sci-fi energy snap. The weapon animation, both idle and reloads, are very stylish and its size and posing on screen is excellent. Each individual shot pellet is bright and visible, leaving a neat glowing decal on environments. Nicely made for the energy-based weapons. It all comes together for this shotgun, and I'm very happy the devs put this one in as a more refined and less sporadic demon buster.
Killing you guys is wrong. I don't want to fight.
Please consider supporting on Patreon.
I love it.